Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Fluctus channel. The United States Air Force has an official air traffic control known as Air Force One, particularly to fly the President of the United States from country to country. The term Air Force One is commonly used to denote the U.S. Air Force aircraft, modified and primarily used to transport the President. The history of this call sign goes way back to the 1930s, but did not come to include any specialized aircraft until 1943. Franklin D. Roosevelt started flying on a modified C-54 Skymaster, the first aircraft ever to be specifically built and equipped for presidential use. After considering technological advancements, decided that it was no longer dignified for the president to fly in a propeller-driven aircraft. That's when they built the VC-137, an extraordinary aircraft that carried 8 sitting presidents and countless other diplomats and officials during its 36-year flying career. As Air Force One carries the President of the United States, it isn't considered an ordinary aircraft. Therefore, it receives an immaculate treatment. When it lands on foreign soil, the Secret Service and local law enforcement implement a highly detailed set of processes. Usually, the airport is entirely reserved for a certain period, so Air Force One is the only plane landing on the runway. This helps the Secret Service to execute operations efficiently and escort the president from the aircraft to the vehicle. The entire process is kept confidential until the last moment, so that no bad actor could intercept the president's trip. The use of helicopters is prioritized for shorter distances that require air travel. Marine One is the call sign of any United States Marine Corps aircraft carrying the President of the United States. Marine One transports the President of the United States from the White House to other locations in Washington, D.C. If needed, Marine One can even fly the President abroad at a moment's notice. As a security measure, Marine One always flies in a group with identical helicopters, mainly 5 in number. Out of these 5 helicopters, 1 carries the president, while the others serve as decoys. After takeoff, these helicopters begin to shift their formation to obscure the president's location. Sometimes Air Force One collaborates with Marine One to transport the presidential convoys. It is easier and safer for the president to travel on a Marine One helicopter piloted by members of Marine Helicopter Squadron 1, or HMX-1. Being an HMX-1 pilot is not an easy job. It requires being proactive and ready to fly several miles from state to state at a moment's notice. The ability to quickly evacuate the president after landing, and with fewer security risks than ground travel, makes the HMX-1 one of the most valuable security assets available for protection of the president. HMX-1's topmost priority is to be ready with the aircraft at a moment's notice. The squadron is also responsible for training future pilots and crew members who would later support the White House travel needs. Additionally, HMX-1 coordinates with other military and civilian agencies during the president's travel, which provides additional safety and security for the president while flying from one point to another.
The mission is much different than the fleet's mission. Here, we're not really in a hostile environment, but it's a no-fail mission. So the level of importance is still there. We don't ever want to leave the president stranded somewhere. We need to make sure that the people who go with him and all his contingency are able to get where they need to go every time.
Helicopters are also used during presidential visits to aircraft carriers at sea, which are conducted for important military and diplomatic purposes. The U.S. president, along with other officials, travels on helicopters like the VH-3D and VH-60N, offering secure and reliable means of transport from shore to the aircraft carrier. The VH-3D can transport up to 14 passengers, while the VH-60N accommodates 11. Both of these planes require a pilot, co-pilot, and crew chief, with an additional communication systems operator on the VH-60N. The ability of these helicopters to land on the deck of an aircraft carrier showcases not only the skill of the pilots, but also the adaptability of these aircraft for any mission. For public appearances, the United States organizes what's known as a presidential motorcade. A motorcade can be organized for various purposes, like funerals, demonstrations, or to provide security while transporting a very important person. The motorcade for the President of the United States consists of around 50 vehicles, which may carry his or her spouse or children, along with the members of the press, security, and officials from the White House. The presidential motorcade also contains several armored vehicles, like a USSS Electronic Countermeasures Suburban, along with the counter-assault team and Secret Service agents. On the other hand, the president and the VIPs travel in armored vehicles, typically modified limousines. When the president travels abroad, armored vehicles are transported using cargo planes. In 2017, the former president of the United States, Donald Trump, traveled to Italy ahead of the G7 summit. Vehicles, like armored Suburbans, were transported via a cargo plane so that the president could travel as he desired. The 20th Amendment to the Constitution specifies that the elected President of the United States must take oath before assuming the duties of the position. The Inauguration Day takes place at noon on the 20th of January every 4 years. The most important moment of the Inauguration Day is the parade. More than 5,000 members from across all branches of the United States military, including Reserve and National Guard components, provide ceremonial support to keep the president safe during the Inauguration Day parade. The parade is just 1 hour long. However, it requires months of planning, preparation, and coordination with the marching band to make it a secure and festive event. Due to the significance of the event, which is often televised, a dress rehearsal is executed ahead of the official parade.
Ready.
This dress rehearsal is performed by the bands that are expected to perform on the Inauguration Day. Moreover, the security forces and guards are also present at this rehearsal. This rehearsal ensures everything goes according to the plan and without any hindrance. On the Inauguration Day, a motorcade is organized for the president-elect, who travels with the outgoing president and congressional leaders to Capitol Hill to take the oath of office. The spectators watch from behind the metal barriers as the motorcade passes by. From driving vehicles closely in a motorcade to flying dozens of planes together, all branches of the United States military work together in order to protect the president when he or she is traveling. Forming these vehicles and aircraft provides layers of protection and options for different scenarios, allowing the president to travel safely. The evolution of these transport systems over the years is a testament to the ever-changing demands of presidential security. That's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our new content. See you next time.